What is going on, Polestar fans? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today I want to give you a quick overview of what to expect going into next week. And it has been a while since I've given a Polestar update, so I just want to go over some of the data points, technicals, and things that you need to know. Make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And with that, let's get right to it. So based on my last update or my last Polestar update video, I did indicate that for the most part, the technicals and various other signals all showed that there was going to be a little bit more of a downside. It did happen, not as much as I would have anticipated, which is of course a fairly positive thing, but going into next week, there is some things that could cause a little bit more of a disruption. More specifically, there is a lot of data points coming out very much linked to consumers. And as I've said time and time again, a lot of institutions are waiting for those signals to show signs of cracking, and there is two right here. So non-farm employment and non-farm payroll. So two very good indicators for consumers. Are they still out there having their jobs? Or are they still spending, earning the money, and so forth? So definitely those are going to be some very big indicators going forward. But over and above that though, there is that whole debt ceiling kind of debacle. Definitely going to be a lot of volatility because they do have up until I think it's June the 1st to come to a conclusion based on this, which historically I think 9 times out of 10 or 10 times out of 10 they always do raise it. But still, it's one of those gray areas right now. And plus, Biden did say, I believe, the fact that if it does not get extended, then stocks should and could go down roughly around 45% from these levels, which is absolutely crazy. So again, keep in mind, I'm not a financial advisor, so you guys do your own due diligence. So definitely there's going to be a lot of volatility. As of right now, at the time of doing this video, there has been no recent SEC filings, no press releases, nothing along those lines. So it's just merely following the broader market and the technicals. And as far as the technicals, it is lower percentile of the Bollinger Band, still below a lot of the pivotal to moving averages. As far as, for instance, looking at some of the fib levels, so with it closing on Friday at 327, it is very, very low. So still technically trading between this S3 and S2. So as I've said in the past, it's not doing that well, and it just boggles my mind because Polestar technically is doing fairly well. I know they did kind of cut down on their 2023 targets and they are laying off a little bit of staff, but still generally any stock that is trading between this S3 and the S2 is considered junk. So the fact that Polestar is even in that realm shows that they are massively oversold. And as well, looking right here, Stochastic says the exact same thing. So the fact that it went down as much as it did as a result of their earnings, and the fact that it's at 15 right now, once again does signal the fact that it is massively oversold. But as bad as it sounds, it's been oversold for a while, so I don't think that's really any justification for it to kind of go up as a result, because the market doesn't seem to like Polestar for whatever reason. I have no idea why. So like I said in many times in the past, when it comes down to Polestar, people will eventually start to grow on it, or I guess Polestar will grow on those companies and people in general. So when you are investing in Polestar, you really have to think long term. Even though a lot of their stats right now are still very impressive, it just somehow doesn't get the attention that it needs. Even based on the latest round of 13 Fs, for Polestar, it just shows no interest coming from institutions, and it is really, really sad. Even based on this company right here, I'm not going to butcher their name, but their call options went down in Q1 by 67%, and their puts went down by 33%. So clearly, even in that regard, they are more so leaning towards it still continuing to trend down. And of course, when it comes down to some additional data points, I'll give you guys a quick overview of the options. So when it comes down to the options, this aspect is a little bit more optimistic. So based on Friday, there was $106,000 in call premiums. So of course that's fairly optimistic, and 82,000 in put premiums. So even though the stock price is going down and not much actual institutions are really giving it any attention, a lot of people are buying long-term calls because, like I said, eventually Polestar is going to get the attention. And the fact that, like I said, going back over here, is trading between this S3 S3 and S2 is just mind-boggling. A lot of similar, for instance, EV companies, even Lucid, which technically isn't getting anywhere close to the results that Polestar does, they are currently trading between the S1 and the pivot. So it goes to show and represents the fact that Polestar is at a huge, significant discount. So again, keep that in mind. And as well, I am not a financial advisor, so you guys do your own due diligence at the end of the day. As far as this, there has been a little bit more of a reduction in the number of transactions coming from institutions. There was one on Friday, so the 19th, $254,000 based on the bid and the ask. It was a buy, so at least one institution was willing to buy it after hours on Friday, which kind of is abnormal because normally Friday after hours is silent. So that might mean something, might mean absolutely nothing. I'll leave it up to you guys to make that determination. And as far as when it comes down to Polestar, I'll give you guys a quick overview of, for instance, what shorts are doing. Once again, as I've mentioned in the past, Polestar doesn't have on paper anything to have a good squeeze, but it's still good to use it as a benchmark. So based on Friday, short score was 70, utilization is 96. And technically on Friday, shorts did increase 1.47 thousand shares, 3.83% of the free float is being shorted, and that works out to be 10.01 million shares overall. Cost to borrow, that is something to note. Since my last couple of update videos, it has skyrocketed, almost doubled. So cost to borrow average is 17.22%. Still though, on paper, it's just not there for a squeeze, but the fact that they are still tentatively increasing, because I do believe based on over here, I'll quickly show you the chart just to put it in perspective. So as you can see, the cost to borrow has actually been going up over the last several weeks, ever since basically their earnings. So like I said, that was kind of around the same time period as my last update video. So a lot of signals behind the scenes are still very much bearish, including even the technicals. And like I said, even though it is considered very oversold, you need a good piece of news for it to go up. And as of right now, this week, especially like I said, with a lot of the data points coming out, the whole debt ceiling, there is going to be a lot of volatility. But once this whole debt ceiling does get resolved, I do strongly feel that Polestar will be able to easily move up as a result of that, but won't necessarily be able to get to $4 levels or anything like that. I do feel it could probably get to around the S1 in all honesty, but still, $3.45 is nothing in comparison to what it actually should be. Because I do believe that the latest Morningstar report does put Polestar as a fair market value around $8. So again, even that puts it in comparison to how massive of a discount this is. But regardless, that is one common thing that I've been saying over a lot of videos, is the fact that when you are investing in Polestar, you should be thinking long term, because short term just does not make sense whatsoever with Polestar. But with that said, let me know you guys' thoughts on Polestar in the comments below. Do you think that it is going to be trending higher, or where do you see things going, at least in the short term? And plus, give yourself a shout out if you have been buying, selling, holding, what you have been doing, and where you see things going, because it is very, very close to the all-time low. So as you can see, currently $3.27, and the low is $3.14. So very, very close. So do you see things going down potentially, or where do you see things going? One final thing, take advantage of this promo only for the month of May. Link in the description below and also the comments. Sign up for a free account. You get one free stock. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. So it is a complete no-brainer. Take advantage while you can. And with all that said, I really appreciate you guys watching. Let's all make a lot of money eventually on Polestar.